from France. My mom and dad, they walk upstairs. Can't escape, I can't escape on my own. Let's not pretend, come on, enough is enough. Silence is golden, but this is too much. Can't escape, I can't escape all alone. Calling out to anyone, calling out. Time has come, calling out to be heard, calling out. All alone, and it hurts. Tell me what. When I go to bed at night, I whisper a little prayer. When I go to work, I act as if I care. Have your fun, but never, ever get out of hand. Living under the gun, under the command. Play the game, toe the line, all the time. I see so much ignorance trying to stifle me. When it's over, when it's done, on that final day, a few kind words is all I need. But things don't flowers on time, the be breathing. One step closer, a little closer, and read me.
There, I'm on now. Okay, we're going to be on air at 7 o'clock.
All the boys and girls out in Radio Land. All the boys and girls ready for a show.
Reflecting social change, corrupting the pavement. We've heard cravings for success.
I can't sleep.
Try to hide our past by pulling down houses and building car parks. Windows and mirrors like a two-way glass. This is progress, nothing stands in its place. Yellow bulldozers, donkey jackets and JCBs, while hundreds are homeless. They're constructing a pocket space. Why do they have to knock them down and leave a side diamond from outside men? Who has the right to make that choice? A man whose house is cost 40 grand. Tell me, bricks and mortar, bricks and
Hey, let's get this party started.
If you ride waves as much as the
Say that you don't like me, what I do ain't right. Well, I'm tired of hearing all you and fucking cry. Don't do this, don't do that, get up from the ground, man. It's not the stuff that I don't like it, do that I can stand. Everything different, everything right. Don't believe all your bullshit, don't believe all your lies. You know, I don't care what you think. Take your breath, turn around and go away. Don't do this, don't do that.
Mellow out, man.
It's not the stuff that I don't like, it's you that I can stand. Everything different, everything right. Don't believe all your bullshit, don't believe all your lies. You know, I don't care what you think. Take your breath, turn around and go away. Nothing matters to me. Nothing matters to me. Nothing matters to me. Nothing matters to me.
Ah, loving you is easy, you are on my side. We play the game strictly to our rules. We let the feel a love affair, which made all other lovers fools. Oh, how can you ever let me down? How can you ever let me down? How can you ever let me down? These promises are made for us. We promised that we'd always have time for each other. Whenever I needed you tonight. We promised to be true, there'd be no other. We promised that forever we would care. Oh, how can you ever let me down? How can you ever let me down? How can you ever let me down? These promises are made for us. We had to change, but you stayed the same. You wouldn't change. Oh, what a shame. 'Cause it's not easy, you're not on my side. We play a game which is sets of rules. We leave the field in a love affair. Oh, strictly meant for fools. Oh, why did you ever let me down? Why did you ever let me down? Why did you ever let me down? Those promises were made for us. You never have any time for me. Whenever I need you, you're not there. You've never been true and it's plain to see. The fact is you never really cared. Oh, why did you ever let me down? Why did you ever let me down? Why did you ever let me down? Those promises we made for us.
That was the Buzzcocks, Promises. And I hand the show over to my good friend, Jeff Sargent. We've had 75 pictures taken together.
Yeah, you guys ought to get a little.
How
Scottish
embarrassing.
together.
Guess what?
By the way, Dan, you piece of crap, don't think I didn't notice when you posted that. My face was cropped out for a Dan hugging Jeff shot.
Oh my God.
You two quiffs are cozy as bed bugs.
Falling asleep on the couch.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one.
Show me. Go to your.
Oh, shit. Hey. Oh, Happy New Year, motherfucker.
Oh, yeah, man. Happy New Year.
Surprised
Merry
you-
Christmas.
Surprised you two didn't get each other gifts. Put on your Facebook page. I want to show you what that picture he crapped out of me.
Hey, everybody. I'm trying to introduce the show here. Hey, it's the Jeff Sargent Show. on Chaotic Radio.
Jeff Sargent.
It ain't the Roy and Jimmy show. It ain't the Black Lung show. It ain't Dutchie and his entourage. And,
Yeah, poor Roy and Jimmy.
and
Hey, watch us wrap. Watch us wrap Christmas presents.
but we're the freaks in the lobby, according to the Black Lung show, right? We're the freaks.
Yeah.
The Black Lung Show can go where all black lungs go.
Yeah, go get a lung transplant.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, anyway, the Jeff Sargent show is back at Chaotic Radio.
I'm your pal, Jeff Sargent.
I'm Janky.
Yeah,
Hi,
we're,
Janky.
we're the black sheep of the family.
We are.
Oh, we're the black sheep.
Although I like that the punk rock girl left the show to come to the lobby to get pictures with us. I thought that
Yes,
was cool.
yes, Cat Monroe.
Cat Monroe, adorable.
She's
Oh,
a
yeah.
sweetheart.
We love Cat Monroe.
The rest of the Black Lung Show can go to
And-
hell, but we like
and-
Cat Monroe.
And you should love Cat Monroe, too.
This is
So,
true.
here we are back in the studio after... God,
2
was it-
weeks.
God, the last show we did was with Jack Grisham from TSOL. That was
Oh,
you
yeah, I
had
was
to
going
leave
to say
early.
that. I was going to say
You had to
yeah.
leave early, but you were here.
Yes.
You were here. You had to go. That was the Friday before Christmas, and
All to
now
the
it's New
house.
Year. Okay, all you guests and freaks out there from Hollywood, get your asses out here and be in the studio. And with your, we don't want your phone call bullshit.
Yeah, phone call. Oh, I'm going to
You know,
gift you with a phone call.
You're not that far away, really.
Hey, you know what? I can't even get Kurt Ross to come in here, and he lives in Claremont.
Oh, he wants to do a phone call. Fuck him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
no phone calls from Claremont. Except
He
that
was my roommate. I drove that guy around for so long.
he still owes Jeff $10. That's why he's afraid to come in.
And a washer and dryer.
And a washer and dryer.
I believe it.
Oh, God. Oh, he's too busy eating raw tomatoes and avocados for his...
In Cal.
He's vegan. I don't eat meat. I don't do dairy products.
Yeah, I eat kale and
I eat
beets.
kale. Yeah, I eat kale and a green bean for breakfast.
I do like kale, though. I pretend I'm the cartoon Popeye when I eat it.
You know, all of a sudden, everybody's
No.
like, "Oh, that's the healthy thing, kale. It tastes like shit."
Chef Ross, you are a punk
it
rocker.
does.
That means you put a lot of worse crap in your body than meat.
Oh yeah, over the last 30 years, you're still cleansing, brother.
Yeah.
Okay, we're done busting his chops. Who are we gonna bust next?
You
Oh,
you
I'll tell you.
me.
I'll tell you, okay, I'm going to tell a story about a mutual friend, but I'm not going to use his name. Neither are you. I get a call from a mutual friend of ours. And he goes, I don't know, bro. I'm good at sensing these things. And I found a woman who needs help. And he wanted to, he said,
He's probably listening to the show right now.
yeah. And
I hope you're all
so,
right, buddy.
so we're going to, her daughter needs some sort of medical thing. And I'm with my friend, our friend. I'm thinking, okay, I'll give her whatever she needs. Then she contacts me again and goes, we don't need the brace anymore, which is your first giveaway. You know, we don't need the leg brace anymore. We need an American Girl doll. And I'm shopping at Toys R Us for my nephews, and this woman is telling me, you got to go to this aisle. And it's an American Girl doll. It was like $60, $70.
You know what? Me and Tim Alberstein went and got his daughter one, and we had to go to Beverly Hills. This was like 5 years ago, and they were expensive, man.
This was like with tax $70, and I'm thinking our friend said this is the real deal. They're broke as a joke, and I'm thinking I'm going to help him with this. I'm going to get this for her, and then she's giving directions to drop it off, and she's living at the top of Irvine Meadows. This is for I was going to drop it off Christmas Eve. She's living in the top of Irvine Meadows in a $110,000 place with a permanent concierge. And she's telling me how broke she is. And it's like, no. Nobody lives like that and needs, you know. So,
That's some crazy ass shit right
yeah,
there.
it was. It was like, my brother Donald goes, no, you don't understand. This is a $110,000 place.
100, yeah.
She has an Olympic-sized swimming pool and a full-time concierge, meaning somebody's there waiting for you at all times of day or night.
She needs a brace for her leg. Sounds like
Well,
a
she
con
needed a
artist to
brace for
me.
her daughter's leg, but the daughter suddenly wanted an American Girl doll.
An expensive one, you know.
Oh, yeah, and it's
because
like-
you're living in $100,000.
And it's
I mean, $1 million house.
don't contact
That's $1
people.
million. That
yeah.
ain't no $100,000 house. Here you
No,
get
yeah.
2 bedroom. We're talking $1 million house. That's
Yeah.
$1 million house.
And she's crying poor mouth. And when I see where I have to go to the top of Irvine, I return that thing in a hurry, you know? And it's like, no. It was just terrible, you know?
So anyway, we're getting expect a call from a beautiful actress today and model. She's this
From
fashion
England, no
model.
less.
From England. Nadia, Chloe.
Have you looked at her credits? Because I forgot my phone.
Nadia. Her name is Nadia. She's a beautiful blonde actress with a English accent.
She's
Yeah.
calling in, so all this could be BS.
Calling from across the pond. I hope you're listening, Dougie.
She's probably calling from Steve Ross's guest bedroom. Oi, blimey! Hello, I'm Nadia.
And yeah, I talked to her on the phone. I just love her accent. I love when the British girls call. So
You
she-
know what accent I like the most?
Fontana.
And it's kind of weird. Fontana. Shut up. Is South African accents. Because it's kind of like Australian. and
Yeah,
British,
it's a little
Kinda
different.
not,
but
yeah.
it's a little different, you know?
Of all the UK accents, you know that the English stuff. We got England. We got London, right? We got and there's-
Manchester.
and
got
we got Manchester. We got and they got different dialects, and
Yeah,
then we get
Newcastle.
Australian. And a lot of people go, "What country you're from?" Because they can't tell the difference between Australian. We're Australians. We are tiny kangaroo down sport. And I'll go talk to this humongous. He seems like a reasonable man.
Yeah.
And then there's
the dingo eats your baby.
and you can't say, "I'll go talk to
The
this."
dingo
humongous."
completely ate
Now,
my
if I
baby's
was
first
from
foot.
London, I said, "I'll go talk to this humongous. He seems like a reasonable man." Hello, I'm. You know that if you were from London, but then South African. How do you do a South African, Dan?
I'm just impressed how you set the table with that accent, Jeff. Your Australian accent was so different from your UK accent.
Yes.
I'm from Australia.
Excuse me.
Well, I'm from
Excuse
England.
me, Kitty Winkers. I'll go talk to this horrible, this extraordinary humongous, and because he seems like a reasonable man.
No, it's weird because there's something soothing about the
Yeah.
South African accent. There was a woman, you know, and Patrick loves when I talk about rehab. There was a woman in a rehab center who put 40 drunk and crackheads to sleep by her voice. And all she did was hypnotize us. And we all fell asleep. All of us, except for one dude. We all fell asleep.
And he was getting
There she
high.
is.
Yeah, no, he was getting withdrawals.
Her name is Nadia Chloe Rose.
Scroll up. I want to show that picture of you and Dan cropped of me. Keep going. You pieces of crap. Keep going.
Oh, I don't
Go
know
to
where
the
it is.
picture of you and Dan.
I can't find it.
Keep going.
Screw it.
Keep going. Oh, was that you and Jen Dangle? Go back.
Where?
Was that you and Queen Malvolia? Go back.
Oh, that's always a good picture.
Hey, you know, we were at a New Year's Eve party, Dan, and the host's wife was telling us how much she loved the episode with us and Queen Malvolia.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, that's funny. My wife actually went to a store the other day, and the cashier had asked for her driver's license to cash a check. And he goes, "Oh, Rupp." He goes, "You know Dan Rupp?" And she goes, "Yeah, that's my husband." And that's all he said. He didn't say anything more. Like, he didn't say, "Hey, how's Dan doing?" What, you know, I know Dan from high school, or whatever.
He was the one dude who didn't pass out in rehab.
Yeah. I went to rehab with Dan. you know.
I went to rehab with Dan.
But no, I've had that happen. And also at Rite Aid, I had one lady recognize me, and she goes, "Oh, you're Dan Rupp."
Wow.
I'm like, yeah. I've been on TV. done a few other little things in the radio show here.
We're quickly becoming underground sensation, boys.
Yeah. I lost my red nose. Where'd it go?
Oh, I know. Now you got a black.
Hello there.
No. Oh, hell
Hello,
no.
Dad.
No.
Hello, Dad. I'm
Oh,
Buddy Feldman.
no. I will not be on the last episode of the Jeff Sargent Show. If you guys
Hello,
want,
Dad.
if you guys want to get pulled off the air, do it when I'm not here. I will maintain quality control while I'm part of this Titanic, and until then, until
Abandoned ship.
when you're shouting hello there, I want to be playing Near My God to Thee on our way to the unemployment line.
Oh, we just got a complaint here on somebody texted. It said, tell Pat to shut up.
Really?
Oh, I'm just kidding.
That was me. I texted Jeff that.
Tell Pat to shut up.
All right,
No,
are we
no,
going to
no.
make emoji pancakes this morning or what?
Emoji pancakes.
Well, I can't bring food in here anymore because
Is
I
that why
get
we
in
didn't have
trouble.
bagels?
No, I can't get anything. If there's one crumb anywhere in the studio or the lobby, I get in trouble.
Is
So,
that why the coffee cups are missing? The coffee cups are gone.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we're just high and dry, man.
Yeah. I got bottled water out in the car.
I'm not gonna
Out in the car.
leave it out there till tomorrow because we're
A
not
great
giving.
way to start the new year up.
We're not giving that to Roy and Jimmy.
Okay, I got another question.
I'm not bringing it in the studio.
No way. Really?
That's our water. I bring it
Yes,
in as
yes.
we need it.
Exactly. Because otherwise you're going to be feeding it to you know who. You know, your arch
Yeah.
nemesis.
Now, I got another question, Dan. When I'm watching these YouTube shows, they look like security cams, like trying to catch somebody stealing something. I mean, it really sucks. I mean, we got all these cameras in here. It should be close up right here at this table with the guest.
No, I know. It looks like a liquor store.
It looks like a liquor store.
We had
That's
Queen. We had
bullshit.
We had Queen Malvolia and
And all the other ones.
and all the
Deborah
other
Lamb.
ones. And it's like we're filming them with the Hubble telescope. It's like, come on.
So can these cameras be adjusted or are they fixed? Is that the way they are? Can they get better? Can you zoom in?
Well, Big Mike, he was my engineer for my show when I did the recovery show. He's the one who installed them. So that's an area that I don't know a lot about.
Well, how
I
come
don't know.
nobody said anything till now?
Because you just said something.
I know, but I'm just going like, this really sucks. What it looks great when we're filming with your live stream with our
Oh, yeah,
phones.
the Facebook live stream.
Or
works
it's always better than the
yeah.
YouTube. The YouTube, it sucks, man.
Yeah.
Let's get some better camera angles. I mean, the audio is great.
I'll talk to Dutchie.
The
But we
audio is
have,
great.
we have a great guest, and we don't have any way of filming them. I mean, even Mark Savage, this cool Australian filmmaker, you can't see him. You know what I mean?
Well, we're
when
seeing
somebody-
the back of his head, and
Yeah.
then this camera here, and this getting the back of my bald
Yeah,
head.
when somebody calls in, we need to start Skyping them
Yes.
and put them on your laptop, plug your laptop into
Yeah.
auxiliary, and we can start Skyping them. But
Yeah, that would be great. We wanted to Skype Nadia because she's a real visual here, you know.
yeah.
And I just if we're gonna have female guests, at least let's get them from flattering angles. I mean, it's terrible. Like you said, they look like they're browsing a liquor store.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready to go to the fridge, take a 6-pack, and run out of here.
You and me
Jeez,
both.
you know?
I didn't know Dutchie was bringing the hammer down as far as drinking coffee in studio.
I think he said coffee and water was okay.
All the
but-
coffee cups are gone.
But yeah, I think he's cutting down on that too.
Wow.
And, but there's plenty of beer and tequila and rum to, to basically get an army drunk.
Wow.
But hey, you know what? I don't make the rules. I just live by them.
Oh yeah, that's you, Joe
know.
Rehab. I'm joking.
You know, we got a black lung show, which has cigarette butts all over the front.
Isn't that hilarious?
Is that why? Because he's a heavy smoker, isn't he?
Yeah.
And my voice sounds like a heavy smoker.
It
I
does.
smell like I'm talking like the producer of Jezebeth right now.
Oh, yeah. I'm the producer of Jezebel. It's about a bipolar vampire, but she's going to hide the fact that she's bipolar. Wait a minute. She's not hiding the fact that she's a vampire? No.
So
You sound like one of Marge Simpson's sisters.
Shit.
I'm one of
He was the
Mark
vampire.
Simpson.
Remember the guy who
We
called
got a
in from
grovelly
Denver
voice
Lamb? Jeff makes me laugh every time. I'm here from North Carolina to promote my show about a bipolar vampire. Smoke him if you got him, Johnny.
Hey, we're just gonna blast everything today. Let's see who's listening.
Everything. We're at war with everybody.
Who's next?
Who's
First,
next?
we start with the Black Lung Show. Smoke him a few more times, old aging punk rockers.
Okay, yeah. Listen, let's see who's dialed into Chaotic Radio.
Step
Come
in the ring, mother effers.
Yeah, call in and tell us.
909-360-8330.
One more time, Dan the Man Rupp.
909-360-8330.
We're taking all comers this morning.
Call in and give us this big finger right here.
Talk to us in the British Honey, I believe, is calling in the second hour, so we've got an hour to play with you.
If you got any ideas how to improve this show, yeah, we're all ears.
And even but the Black Lung Show, I think we're more entertaining than you.
You
And
know
Roy
what?
and Jimmy, no offense, but you did a whole 2-hour show about wrapping presents. Why don't you do a show about how you had no material that day?
Oh.
And you listened to it. That's
Oh.
a scary thing.
And you listen to it. And we
Ouch.
hey, and we're
Touche, sir. You have gored my gourd.
I think we need to smoke another cigarette. That's what we need to do.
I'm what's his name for the Black Lung Show? We're old school punks, so we're drinking and we're smoking unfiltered.
Unfiltered.
And
Hey,
I'm
we're the
Marlena,
freaks.
the engineer, and I need a drink.
Yeah.
Hey, we're the freaks out in the lobby peeking through the window.
Yeah. Smoke
Hey,
'em if you
I guess
got-
we're going to have another barbecue or something. We could discuss all the improvements we want to make here at Chaotic Radio.
Face to face.
To make Chaotic Radio #1 worldwide on this WW World Wide Web.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a new listener, actually, who
One?
friended me on Facebook from Australia. Another one. So I got like
Wait, no,
three.
yeah, no, yeah. Hey, let's kill it. Let's do the first hour of Pat, and then we'll call in a second.
And then I will go because she's going to be calling anytime.
Yeah, but
But I don't know if she knows how to get through.
Well,
let's,
she has to call 909-360-8330.
Let's see if I got any crazy text messages. No, not today.
our mutual friend might be mad at me for talking about the Christmas thing, but that really ticked me off. She first did the woman who called, the woman our mutual friend put us in touch with.
Wait, she's here.
Oh, she
She says,
said, sounds like the Black Lung Show.
Yeah, wrong show.
Did she also say,
hello, my name's Damien Dante.
I'm making a movie about a bipolar female vampire. I'm shooting in my mother's backyard.
Wait, I got a call from across the pond. Let me talk to her. Okay.
This is the Black Lung Show. We won't be around for the end of the 2 hours.
We're going to die of lung cancer.
We've got
Okay, now I'm going to try to improve my scratchy, grovelly voice. Okay, now I'm going to be very soft-spoken.
Hey, punch up our IMDb so I have something to work with. I forgot my phone.
I don't think fashion models have IMDb.
Then a series of tasteful news. Let's see. I'm getting us in trouble here on the Black Lung Show. I'm Kev. This is Dennis. And that's our board man, Larry.
I'm Ryan.
Ryan, sorry, Ryan, the board man.
And there's a game show on during the week, and I guess they're getting pretty good ratings.
A game show on Chaotic Radio?
Yeah.
Who hosts? It better be Cat Monroe.
No, is it about gaming? Is it about playing Nintendo and shit, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why people are listening.
Xbox. I'm a
Wow. So it's for stoners by stoners.
Yeah. Then you have the Nerd Show, which is on Sunday nights, I believe.
The Nerd Show? Really? That one sounds pretty good.
We are kind of nerdy, all three of us.
We should crash that show.
We should crash that show and talk about comic books.
Yeah, just take over the show and talk about comics for 2 hours.
Yeah, we love talking about comics. I mean,
Damn
we do
straight.
go to Frank and Son's comic and collectible show
And Bruce
whenever
Schwartz.
we can.
Bruce
And
Schwartz's show is on Sunday.
Oh, it's on Sunday. We should go.
You guys go. I don't.
Oh, look at Mr. Cool.
Well, you would get
I'd rather
lost.
I'd rather go to rehab than a Comic Con. F you, buddy.
You know what?
I
He's
go
got no business going
Yeah.
I
because
go.
he'll just look stupid.
You're right. You're right. Dan will stand out like a sore rehab thumb.
I go play with clowns. Okay, so leave me alone.
It's clown time. Yeah.
Well, you know, we've run out of bridges to burn.
We run out of bridges and we want to burn some more bridges today. We want to blow some up.
Yes.
Welcome to the Dynamite Show.
With a sledgehammer.
The Sledgehammer Dynamite Show. What are we going to destroy today, boys?
Our good rep. Hey, it's going to rain later in the week.
Oh wow.
Who told you that? The sick weathermen? Those
Yeah.
guys change like the weather. Those guys don't know what they're talking about.
I'm just speaking of not know what you're talking about. This is Smoking Pope's manager. That is your group, right?
What is rain?
Oh, phone's ringing.
Uh-oh.
Right here.
Hello, Nadia. You're called.
This is really compelling radio. We can hear one side of the conversation. Hi, Nadia. How are you doing? Oh,
To get
really?
you on the air, we need you to call the 909-360-8330. Do you have to dial 1 to get across the pond?
011, baby. 011.
Okay, do that so we can call you in and everybody can hear you. Call us back on that 909 number.
Call us now, Enchantress.
360-8330.
909 error code.
8330. That sounds beautiful.
British accents are adorable.
We
aren't they?
love you. We can't wait.
do. We adore
Call
you,
in
Nadia.
so everybody, so the rest of the world can hear
Can
your
enjoy that
beautiful
delicious
voice.
accent.
Call right now. Hang this one up. Call that number right now, and
Lines
we'll put
are
you on
open.
the air.
Lines are open, Nadia. Unlike the Black Lung Show, we occasionally get callers.
What's up, Kyle? That's his name, right? Our buddy Kyle, right?
Kyle. Ryan.
Ryan. Hey, Ryan, that's one more caller than you'll be getting.
Okay, we're getting dead air, so let's
Oh.
groove on. She's calling in.
This is the Chaotic Radio Telethon with the Jeffrey Sargent.
Chaotic radio. Hold on 1 second.
Was that her?
Yep.
Well, put her on, boy. Don't make her wait. Don't make her stand on ceremony. There's no monarchy here for her to worship. Nadia, can you hear us?
You got the phone off mute.
Wait. Hold on.
Nadia, speak to us, girl.
Okay, I got it. Let's see.
Nadia.
Come in.
Hello, how are you?
Excellent. You are live on Chaotic Radio on the Jeff Sargent Show.
Your voice is making us feel all stroppy.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Are you as beautiful as your voice?
I don't know.
How is that possible? So where'd you grow up in England, Nadia? What part?
Tell us about yourself.
Yes, well, I'm from Norwich, which is in East Anglia, and, well, recently I've been writing an ebook, which I've just released on Amazon, which I'm extremely excited about, which is a romantic comedy.
Really? What's it called and what's the log line?
It's called Egbert, and it's about a nerdy ballet teacher who's fighting a millionaire for the girl he loves, and he's got the help of his super gran, Gertrude, who's helping him as well.
Gran, super gran. Gran is grandma in England, by the way, for you Americans listening in. I will helpfully translate the rest of this woman's language. Wow, so that sounds charming and interesting. Tell us more. Is this your first book?
Yes, I originally wrote it as a screenplay, and then I made it into an ebook. And it's set in Valdemosa in Mallorca, Spain. I had the pleasure of traveling there last summer, and it was absolutely beautiful. And I completely fell in love with the place, and it really inspired me to write this book. And it's really a book with a message about not giving up and the importance of persevering and being determined. Because obviously this poor guy, the main character called Egbert, he's fighting for this girl, but it's very difficult fighting a millionaire for somebody. Everybody knows that. So he has to be very determined and have a lot of courage. And that's really the message that I wanted to get across with the book.
Interesting. And now you're an actress and model. By the way, her full name, if you want to Google her work, is Nadia Chloe Rose. Nadia Chloe Rose, correct?
Yes, that's correct, yes.
Wow. And let's see. We're looking over your resume now, and we find ourselves impressed.
Let's make sure that now there are no other Nadia Chloe Roses out there on IMDb, is there?
No, there aren't, no.
Okay, so this is her.
She directed a short. You directed your own and starred in your own short, Motivation. Tell us about that.
Oh, that was actually just a scene I wrote that then they blew up they blew up into a short film. That was extremely fun. We filmed that in Norwich, and it was a really good day. It was just about a friend motivating Jen motivating her friend to get over their lover and keep going and be positive. It was a short about positivity, really.
Really? That's very charming. Is that a problem in England? I know with the inclement weather, there's a lot of depressed people. And a lot of your projects are about motivation, you know?
Oh, I love the big motivational speakers, like Les Brown. I'm sure you know these speakers. I watch a lot of their videos, and I guess because they really inspire me, I want to create projects which are like that as well. But no, I think that we're quite happy over here. But I know that it's quite famous that it's drizzly, but it's not always that way.
Is it drizzling now?
Yes.
That's the case,
yes, it definitely is.
So have you ever seen, speaking of motivational speakers and people that I've met in my sales career, have you ever met Anthony Robbins?
No, I haven't. I only follow the big ones like Les Brown. I follow a French one quite a lot because I speak French. Called David Lavoie.
Now you is that wow? You speak French. You got two languages going.
Merde.
I speak Spanish as well. Yes.
Oh, I got three languages.
A little braggart.
Wow, that makes you very international.
Interesting.
Oh, I love languages, yes. I did a degree at university, translation interpreting, and a master's in conference interpreting.
Wow.
And at university in Granada in Spain, so it was so much fun. I absolutely love Spain. I lived there for about 8 years.
How close did you live in Majorca?
I didn't live there. I just visited there on holiday because I knew I was going to write the screenplay about Mallorca, so I went there to kind of find the location scout and find all the places where the characters live. And yes, it was really fun.
Wow. Now, where are Mom and Dad from?
From the UK, both of them, but my grandmother was Hungarian.
Interesting. Okay, I used to write for a magazine out of Putney, and I just love all the different little accents you guys have, and different areas, different accents.
Yes, it's fun, isn't it?
I missed the pub lunch. I had a pub lunch with my publishers. It was amazing.
Oh, yes. Have you been to England a lot?
Only a couple times, but I dug the place, you know?
Yeah, I do love England. It's great.
Oh, what's your favorite part?
I would say my city.
Oh.
Norwich. Norwich is great. It's got everything you need, and it's a really beautiful city. Yeah.
Where's it near?
Well, it's not too far away from the coast, but you can also get to London quite easily. It's in East Anglia.
But now East Anglia, I believe, is from American Werewolf in London, right?
I think that's where they filmed that part.
Yeah, I think they filmed part of the movie in East Anglia. I'm not sure, but I think they did. I know they did some in Wales.
I've been to Clapham South, basically Essex. I hung around in Essex in
Jeff
London.
also had Clapham for a while, but he got it treated.
But I've been in just the southern part of England, and then I took a train up to Inverness because I wanted to see for myself if I could spot Nessie.
He also ran a train with a bunch of pub hooligans, if you know what I'm saying.
I did run into a few.
Sounds very fun, yes. Did you spot Nessie?
No, all I got was a plastic souvenir.
Oh, no. Oh, dear.
I didn't see any form of life, any fish of any kind come out of that water.
Yeah, you know, for some reason, the monster doesn't show itself to American drunks. Is there something living in Loch Ness you want to tell us about, Nadia?
Oh, something in Loch Ness?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I've never been, actually. I mean, I've always heard about the rumours, but I haven't visited. No.
Aw. How could you not visit it? But we had a 2-ton sea monster and visit all the time.
I spent one day in Scotland. That was I went to Inverness. I went to Stirling Castle.
From the opening of In Search of.
Yes. And that was fun. I took a little tour of it. And then I went back down to London.
Neat.
Oh, London's great.
Yeah, me and my wife are actually looking at trips to take this summer, and Scotland was like very reasonable. Airfare and hotels and bed and breakfast. My buddy from Studio 6 is from there, from Dublin. Now that's Ireland, I guess.
Yes, you're drifting off.
Yeah, I'm drifting off. I don't know, Ireland, Scotland,
Ryan, you're free associating instead of paying attention to
Let's
the
get
morning
back
show.
to Norwich.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm working computers back here.
So how was your holiday?
How was your holiday, Nadia?
What did you do over Christmas?
Yes, no, it was fantastic. Just having a break, and I'm writing my next ebook, which I'm so excited about, which is a romantic thriller, and it's quite fast-paced, and it's got a lot of action scenes and chases, and I'm really excited about it. It's also set in Spain, in Seville, which is an amazing city. It's absolutely gorgeous, so I'm extremely excited about the next ebook.
Is it called Die Egbert Die?
No. The title's a secret, but it's going to be coming out really soon.
Well, we look forward to seeing that,
Now, I notice you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 films in post-production?
Yes, there are quite a few, yes.
Pre-production and post-production.
Yes.
Wow, tell us more.
Well, I recently completed a short film called Vows, in which I played Michelle, and that was about domestic violence, and it was a really powerful film. When I got the script, I really loved it, and the team was just absolutely amazing. The relationship with the director, the other actors, I just had like the best time ever on that film. It was so much fun. And we're also filming like a thriller short at the moment called Two Wrongs, which is quite exciting. We're going to continue filming that in 2018. So I'm really excited about that as well.
What is Hunters Hunted?
That's like a fantasy feature film that they're setting up at the moment. I got the part as an elf of all things.
An elf of all things. So tell us more, little Lenny.
Well, she's called Galera, and she's like an elf maiden, so they were making like little ears and everything, which I found very amusing.
That's adorable.
Yeah.
We're
It
gonna,
was
wow,
so
you're
funny.
playing an elf with your accent. Charming.
Yes.
Now, do mom and dad read your books?
Well, I'm very lucky actually because my dad's a professional editor, so I have that support. So he's read it because he edits them, and yes, my mum started reading Egbert, and she's read the other screenplay.
Interesting. Good.
Yeah. So what is your type of movies? Is it all horror, or do you do like all different types of stuff, or what? What is your forte?
Well, I think acting-wise, I tended to get cast in more horror action things because obviously a lot of writers are men, a lot of directors that I know, and that's the genres they're writing. I think my forte writing-wise is more romance, romantic thriller, romantic comedy. That's what I prefer. Yes.
And is No More Lights in the Sky an alien movie, or?
Oh, it was more of a kind of sci-fi set in a slightly different world. Yes, it was very full of action, put it like that.
Aw. I'm not sure we'd buy you as homeless, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just I'm getting texts from the owner of the station. His name's Dutchy. He's from London, and he could tell by your accent where you're from. And I don't know how he does it, but
Well,
he
maybe
could tell
because maybe it's when she said Norrington twice.
Yeah. Well, he could tell. He could actually tell a Newcastle accent from a Manchester accent from a London accent, which is so funny because London is such a small country. But
City, Dan.
City.
City.
It's a city.
Are you a soccer hooligan, Nadia?
I'm not. We have a lot of them in my city because we have the Norwich City football team, which is very funny. It often explodes like the city when there's a match on. But no, I'm not into it at all.
No.
Yeah, we got a lot of people here that really like Manchester United. I don't know why. I don't follow it, but that's what they like. I don't know. I don't know. I played in my 20s, but
You played for Manchester?
no. I played for Los Bandidos.
Did your rehab group have a team?
We had a softball team.
Critters Incorporated?
Nothing like seeing a field of drunks and crackheads playing ball together.
Wow, that's interesting. So, Nadia, if your dad's an editor, who did he edit for?
He was editing a magazine before, and now obviously my books. Yes.
Oh, good deal.
Yes, he's lovely.
Oh.
So what's in your future, Natalie?
Or Nadia?
Nadia, sorry. God, I keep
Dan
screwing
the man
words
just
up.
changed your name.
He's so occupied with all the computers in the booth. It's hard for him to focus.
I think mainly I'm focusing on this romantic thriller, really getting that to the best version before I release that, which I'm going to be releasing really soon.
How many drafts do you go through? Because it's an e-book. But how many when you proof and everything, how many drafts do you full drafts do you wind up going through?
Well, these are both screenplays that I'm now changing into books, e-books. So they're already quite polished. So yes, not very many, to be honest, because they're already all the characters, all the storylines already fixed from the screenplay. So it's just polishing the language, making it a bit more book-like, maybe like 3 drafts.
Now, question, when you're doing something like that, do you find yourself tamping down on the English colloquialisms? Do you find yourself pulling it back a little bit to make it more universal, or no?
Not at all, no. I really just express it how it comes out naturally. Yes, it's more just communicating. I don't think about English like the British version or the American version. It's just expressing it as it comes out.
Wow, okay, interesting. Just wondering about that. How are you, Joe?
So you just take it from your head and put it into words, basically.
Yes, more from my heart, straight out. Yes.
Oh.
Oh.
So when do you shoot your Elf movie?
Oh, I'm not sure. They're setting it up at the moment. Yes, they just cast it and now they're arranging it.
Do you know where they're shooting it?
They had chosen some locations. It's kind of fantasy, so it's like woods, places like that, outdoors. But they haven't fixed the exact location quite yet.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Have you ever?
Yeah.
I wanted to know. Have you ever traveled, visited to Wales, or seen Stonehenge, historic places?
I think I did go to Wales at one point when I was a lot younger, but I haven't seen Stonehenge. I don't think no.
No Stonehenge, no Loch Ness. You are a bad English person.
I didn't.
Yes,
I didn't
I've
know.
spent so long in Spain.
Do you serve? Do you wear corsets like in the old Hammer horror movies? Do you have like a dress and a corset like the old Hammers,
No, I don't know.
or Merchant Ivory, or no? That's shocking.
Have you seen Big Ben?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I have. Yeah, I did a photo shoot there a while back. It was fun.
Don't be stupid, Dan. Of course you've seen Big Ben. That's where the Queen lives.
Dan, you need to save your money and take a trip and tour London. Okay, that way you could ask smart questions.
Don't beat up our board, man.
Well, I need a tour guide, so
You sure do need a tour guide.
Would you like to show Dan around the seedier parts of London?
Yeah, there's a place called the Tower of London. You could drop Dan off.
He'll just hang there for the next 30 or 40 years.
no, I'll just go to London Bridge out here in Havasu.
Yeah, that was a pretty incredible move. I never understood why they took the London Bridge and brought it to Arizona.
Nadia, have you been to America?
No, that is on my wish list, definitely. Like, I've always wanted to go, but not yet.
We've got a bridge for you in Havasu.
Yes, we'd love to see you take. That would be a great photo shoot. Is do a photo shoot on the London Bridge in Arizona when you come to America.
There's a
I'll keep that in mind.
You must, Nadia. There's a cheesy 80s TV movie with David Hasselhoff set in Havasu where they rebuild the bridge brick by brick, and when they put the last bridge in, it brings back Jack the Ripper.
Oh no!
Merriment ensues. Have you been to Whitechapel, Nadia?
No, I haven't, no.
Wow, you haven't even seen where Jack the Ripper lives in your own country? Shame on you, girl.
Yeah, no, I spent so many years in Spain, I was exploring there.
What's the coolest part about Spain?
I love the culture and the people. They're extremely vivacious and it's very lively. And yes, there's a lot of energy and a lot of passion, and I absolutely love it.
Wow, cool.
Now, did you go to school? Were you there during your high school years?
I finished A-levels, my schooling here, and then I just went to university in Spain.
What's your favorite band?
Band?
Yes.
Oh, don't get me started. I love Coldplay. Absolutely love Coldplay, yes. When I was writing my first, the romantic comedy, I had it on all the time. It's like, it really inspires me, music. I'm extremely connected to it.
Wow, Coldplay, interesting.
That's great.
Yeah.
Now, what have you spent any time in Madrid?
Yes, I lived there for a year, which was really fun. We were doing like theatre tours with Shakespeare performances, and it was a really good year.
Aw.
I've always wanted, because I'm a big fan of sword fighting and stuff, and a lot of swords
I know you are.
come from Toledo, Spain. A lot of swords and knives and armor come from Toledo.
Yeah, I heard about that place, that it was really beautiful.
Tell us more.
Yeah, see, my uncle went to Spain. This was like 10 years ago. He said the city was very dirty. He really didn't like it.
What city was this, Dan?
Spain.
That's a country.
Spain is a country.
I get things confused.
Yes, you do.
You should replace me.
Excuse the silliness of producer Dan.
We've been trying to train a chimp to take his job.
I mean, I traveled out of the country, but I said I made it. I made it from Essex to Scotland to the top of Inverness. So I just went from the bottom to her to the top, and I only did that within 2 weeks. I really didn't have that much time.
Well, Europe's a big country, or a big province.
It's an island because it's pretty big here in California.
There are places here in California I haven't been to yet.
We'll get you there. Don't worry. Now,
yeah, you'll drop my dead body off
Now-
somewhere in Death Valley.
now, Nadia, I want to know about "Hello Au Revoir." Now, that sounds like a French film.
Oh, that was a self-tape film where loads of actors and actresses were sending in different tapes of themselves. Yes, I did that a while back. It was quite fun.
Interesting. And how long did it take you to shoot this?
Pardon?
How long did it take to shoot this self-tape?
Oh, I think it was just like a day preparing it and then shooting it.
Interesting.
So how long have you been acting and writing?
I think since I was very young, I started creating the romantic comedy ebook. When I was very young, all the characters, and acting again, I started very young, and it just went from there.
Now, you've also done quite a bit of modeling. I see dozens and dozens of your beautiful photos. Did you? Is it? Have you done more modeling as well as acting?
Yes, I've done quite a lot as well. Yes, it was very fun. I went to Galicia in Spain to work for a designer for her catalogue, and that was so fun. It was great. That was quite recently.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was really fun.
How does modeling begin, Nadia? I'm curious about this. In England, when does somebody say, "Hey, you need to model"?
I don't know. I think you just do things because you enjoy it, and then it just grows from there, from the natural enjoyment, and then people say, "Oh, you're having a good time, and that's going well," and they want to become part of it, and it just grows naturally.
So, how did you start? Did you start as an actress or model? Which started first?
I was doing both since I was a child, really. I don't think one came before the other. Yes, I was just doing loads of photo shoots and then started doing tours with the acting, and yeah, they just both grew together.
Can we find you in any magazines?
I did recently come out in one. I need to find the name. I can't remember. But yes, it was like a new e-magazine. But I will find the name. And yeah, I just came out on that recently.
Interesting. And what are you doing in the ad?
What was I doing in the magazine?
Yes.
I was mostly talking about my new ebook and also a lot about the acting.
Ah. What did you study for acting?
I studied in Madrid, which was really interesting. So I studied at some of the best schools, but of course they were all Spanish-speaking. So I kind of learned in Spanish, which was really good. It's really fun because all my classmates were Spanish, and we were all doing filming all the scenes in Spanish. And yeah, it was great fun.
Yeah, so, it's kind of like growing up here in L.A.
You have lots of Spanish speakers there, don't you?
Yes.
But no, they tell me that Spanish is different than Mexican Spanish.
Oh, it is totally different. Because when I met some friends from, when I got to London, I hung out at some club and I made friends with some kids from Madrid, and I tried to speak a little bit of California Espanol. And it didn't work.
That was the night Jeff went up with that woman with the huge Adam's apple.
Oh, God.
That wasn't the only thing that was used.
But yeah, it's a different. It's total different. A lot of words mean they are not understood as in both countries. I tried. Dan, no. Do you know that? Okay, clown. Okay, that's payaso. Payaso. When in from Mexico. Okay, that means clown.
Yeah, payaso.
And I was saying, hey, look at those payasos over there. To my friends from Madrid, and they go, what is payaso?
Chaos.
They talk to like Antonio Banderas. What is payaso?
What is clown in Spain, Nadia?
Clown.
Oh, boy.
Well, I was going to say payaso as well, so I don't know why they didn't understand you.
Now, what about
And then
in French?
Jeff woke up in a bathtub without a kidney.
Now, yeah. How do you say clown in French?
Jeffrey.
Oh, you got me on the spot. I'm thinking in English. Yes, having a moment. I will remember. It's gone. I'm just so focused on English right now. I have these moments as an interpreter as well.
Wow, very cool. Now, do you dream in English, Spanish, or something else?
Well, yes, mostly in English, but when I'm thinking or when I'm listening to a lot in Spanish, when I was living in Spain, I used to dream in Spanish quite a lot as well.
Wow, because I wonder about that. Because in your dreams, like someone starts talking to you in Spanish and you're understanding them.
Yes, that has happened. Yeah.
Intriguing.
I find that intriguing. Yeah.
You are delightful. Tell us more, woman. When did you
Yeah.
realize you wanted to be a writer?
I think I just really wanted to express myself. I guess it's like why do singer-songwriters write their songs. I think it's just having a message you want to share with the world and just really wanting to connect to people and find things that you have in common. Why I love art so much is when I'm listening to a song, I realise that the singer feels the same way that I do, and it's just beautiful thinking, oh, there are other people that feel the same way as me, and I wanted to connect with my writing to people that felt the same way as me.
Now, I don't know if you're married or not, but me,
No, I'm single.
you're single? Okay, cool.
Dan's wife just died.
Now, Dan, did you even?
I just
Dan's
got
wife-
single.
Rhonda Robb died about 5 minutes ago, smothered under his pillow.
Now, Dan, I got a question. Did you see the post I made, the promo on Facebook, and announcing our guest Nadia here? Did you see the pictures that we posted?
No,
Okay. You have no idea.
no.
He's locked in this cube. He has no idea who you are, what you look like.
All I could get is all these stupid screens. But I was just saying,
Okay.
there's like this big separation between me and my wife. And we've been married 26 years, I think. Or I don't know. It could be 30 years.
And Dan is sailing to Majorca on Monday alone.
I don't know. But
Oh.
she loves romantic comedies, and I love horror. And she will not watch horror movies, but she wants me to sit and watch romantic comedies.
This is like a
with her.
psychodrama.
And I'm like, no, I don't want to watch romantic comedies. I want to watch somebody's jugular getting cut.
It's like Dan is guesting on Nadia's show.
Okay, this is what I'm going to do, Dan. I'm going to take my phone. I got Nadia's Facebook page up here, and I'm going to let you look at some of these pictures so you have an idea who she is, okay?
Let me, I haven't even turned on
Dan
my
thinks we're
phone
talking to the
this morning.
Queen. I'm sorry, Nadia. This is radio at its finest in Southern California.
Yeah, here comes Jeff bringing me his phone.
So while he's showing your pictures, can I ask, what was your first modeling gig? Was acting first or modeling?
Well, I did a lot more of both in Madrid. That was when I started really doing both, like professionally, because obviously you start when you're very young and then you move into professionally. So, yes, I was doing things there like television adverts, working for Schwarzkopf with the modeling, and that coincided with the acting tours as well.
Wow, interesting. And were you a horror movie fan before you started getting booked in them?
No, I don't watch them at all. We made a horror short called Litany, and yes, it was really funny because it was at night time, and yes, and I was just thinking I'd never watch this because I'd be scared, but then acting in it was funny because it was, it kind of makes them not scary anymore because you see that there were loads of people on set and there are people holding lights and people like standing there eating pizza, and so it kind of takes away the horror aspect of it because you think actually everyone's really friendly on set.
Oh, very nice.
Do you like the old Hammer horror films, like with Christopher Lee and Veronica Carlson?
To be honest, I haven't watched them because I never naturally watch horror, so I couldn't tell you.
Because you and Veronica Carlson, she's a friend of the show. We had her on Halloween, and I just talked to her over the weekend. She lives in North Carolina now, here in the U.S., but she has done many films with Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing. Lovely lady. But you two, you speak pretty much the same. Lovely ladies. I love pretty much the same accent and dialect.
Oh.
Interesting. How long did it take you to write Egbert? You mentioned the script. Now in America, the average length in Southern California, the average length of a script is between 80 and 90 pages. What's the English thing for it? How many pages?
Yes. Well, when I was studying screenwriting, the books were saying, like you're saying, about 90 pages up to 120, but obviously you want to keep it short and snappy.
Right.
So the script itself was probably about 100, and then obviously making it into a book, you make it longer. So I think it's 122 pages. But yes, how long did it take me to write it? I think I just wrote it over many years. Especially spending time with my friends, I'd tell them the story, and they'd say, "Why didn't you get this character to do this?" And they'd add loads of funny anecdotes into it. So it just developed with a lot of people's input, which was really exciting.
Interesting. Would you call it more Four Weddings and a Funeral or Benny Hill?
I'd call it more Mr. Bean.
Oh, very
We
nice.
love Mr. Bean. Oh
I
my
love
God.
Mr. Bean.
Rowan Atkinson. Boy, I really enjoy his work. I
Yeah,
even
he's
love his
fantastic.
animated cartoons as well.
Yes, he's very funny, and the funniest thing is that he's just so clever in real life. I think he's got a degree from Cambridge or Oxford, so he's extremely smart and intelligent, and then he does things like that. And yeah, it's really funny.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I love that movie where where the Mr. Bean movie where he's he's working at the art gallery at the museum, and he looks at paintings. He's just
Oh, I saw that when he's rubbing out the face on the Mona Lisa.
yeah. He actually puts acetone or turpentine trying to clean the painting. Oh.
I like the way that I think if I remember correctly, he tries to draw the face back on, doesn't he?
Yeah. And then so he just takes a poster and puts egg whites over it.
It's so funny because the British have such a dry sense of humor, but I get it, I get all the Monty Python stuff. I mean, Monty Python to me was like the bomb. I mean, I still watch their movies today.
That's what we grew up in,
And Benny Hill, I mean, that was great.
I was in high school when Benny Hill used to be on back in the late 70s, and I used to watch The Goodies as well.
Yeah.
Do you remember The Goodies?
No, I don't know.
Oh no! Well, there's some homework for you. It's with Tim, Graham, and Billy. There was 3 of them, and they were one of them was in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. He played 2 of the characters were in that movie.
And this is my favorite part of the show, dead air. Talk to us, Nadia.
Yes, yes, I'm really excited to talk with you, and yes, if you could keep an eye out for my romantic thriller when it comes out, that would be great, because I'm really excited about it.
And when you come to America, we got to have you live in the studio.
Oh, that would be really fun. Yes.
Oh, thank you, Nadia. This has been a blast.
Yes, we can't wait to now. This is your chance. We want to plug your right
Plug
now.
everything. Give us where they can
Give
see
us
your
all the
modeling,
information.
your books, everything.
Well, my ebook, you can find it on Amazon. It's called Egbert, a Romantic Comedy, and you can see the main character on the front cover, what he looks like, because he's quite nerdy.
Is it a painting or a picture?
Pardon? Oh, it's a picture. I actually got one of my friends to dress up like the character.
Oh.
So he's wearing, like, goofy glasses, and he's got braces on his teeth, and, like, big, like, sandals and socks, and, yeah, he looked the right state, but it was really fun.
Jolly good.
So, yes, you can find that on Amazon.
Amazon, she makes it sound so classy. So, why haven't you been to Loch Ness?
Pardon?
Why haven't you been to Loch Ness yet? I thought
I don't know. I've just never had that desire to find it. I think it's because I know deep down it doesn't exist, so I don't want to waste my time.
The Jonestown monster. There is no Jonestown monster. I know the loch is very deep, and there's not much fish in there. I mean, I don't. It seems kind of like a Dead Sea.
Mary Shelley's Frankenstein turned 200 yesterday. Have you ever read the book?
Yes, no, we did at school. We read it, yes.
Were you shocked how boring it was?
At the time, I thought it was quite good because I was a lot younger.
Oh, trust me, it's boring.
200 years ago. Oh my
200
God.
years ago, yeah.
I can't believe that story is that old.
The theory, when I had to teach it during a summer school class, worse than when I had to read it, they gave the kids the book with the Boris Vallejo cover of the creature running around in a torn-up shirt.
Yeah.
But Mary Shelley's mother died in childbirth, giving birth to her. And she felt her father never forgave her for that. And that's why if you read it, it's really interesting. She's obviously in the creature's corner because she also was this thing that was born and killed its creator, blah, 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 blah.
Exactly.
Patrick, have you ever seen the movie Frankenstein's Army?
Yes, it's on Netflix. And
Isn't it a good
It's
movie?
an amazing Nadia. Have you seen Frankenstein's Army?
No, but I'll look at it.
It's kick-ass, man.
It's
All these
great.
cool robots. It's all these zombie robots tearing each other apart. My brother Steven thought it was over the top. I thought it was a lot of fun.
I thought it was fun.
Yeah, me too. I'm with you, Dan.
So now we gave you some homework, some British homework.
You have some British homework. You
That
have
you
to go to
could
Loch
just-
Ness. You have to go to the Whitechapel.
And you have
solve
to
the-
look up the goodies.
And if you have a free minute, we need you to go over to Stonehenge and maybe sacrifice a baby or something.
And then fly over here to the United States and come in our studio.
And then fly over here to the United States and come to our studio, Nadia.
Yes. And
It sounds fun.
we will set up a fashion shoot on the London Bridge
And the back of Jeff's van.
at Lake Havasu, Arizona.
Nadia, you've been delightful. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
And where can we got all your sites, right? What's your main site you want people to go to? Just one more time.
Just social media. I'm just on that as Nadia Chloe Rose.
Okay. Cool.
And we look forward to your films. Let us know as soon as they're released so we can view them.
Okay, thank you.
And smoke
Thank
some
you very
Pall
much.
Malls.
Thanks, Your Highness. Have a good one.
Thank
Bye.
you, ma'am. Thank you
Bye-bye.
for coming on the show.
Wow, cool. Interesting. She was great. What'd you guys think?
That was Nadia Chloe Rose from England, across the pond.
Introduced to us by the great Steve Joyner.
Yes, thank you, Steve.
Thank you, Steve.
And I'm sure Dougie from across the pond in London is listening as well.
He is listening. He sent me a message. He
Hey.
is listening. He's working, but he's got us on his cell phone.
Was he complaining about the girl with the funny accent? Or
No, he was complaining about the crumbs that we leave behind.
How would
To the gingerbread
How
house.
would
right?
Dougie Arponian know about the crumbs we leave behind? Oh, you meant Dutchie.
Oh, Dutchie. Yeah, Dutchy Dougie. You know, I'm getting my words all
Dude,
today.
you know,
You were
God,
calling her Natalie.
You know what?
you're a mess today. You are just one big fuck up today, dude. I
You know what?
swear.
They legalized pot, and look what happens.
I've called your AA sponsor. He's coming down to slap you around.
God, you're getting Dutchy mixed up with
Dougie.
Dougie from across the pond. No, I want to know.
And
Okay,
you're sounding like Selma from The Simpsons.
Your mother and I think you're using again.
hi. This is Bill Gazzari, Godfather of rock and roll. Come to my club, Gazzari's. Right
Did I
on the
mention I
Sunset
once threw
Strip.
Van Halen off stage?
Yeah. Now look, all my bands have foxy guys. If they ain't
Foxy guys, I don't want
and they
them.
don't play the hottest rock and roll, they don't get on my stage.
I hired Jim Morrison for his very first gig, cleaning my office.
right here at Gazzari's on
Right
the
here at
Sunset
Gazzari's.
Strip.
You know who that's named after? It's named after me, Bill Gazzari.
Is that place still there?
No, it's Gazzari's is no longer.
I'm going to straighten you out, Rob, right back after I take my private plane out for a flight.
So let's
I
get
had
this
to
straight.
fly low over mountains.
So tell me, Dan, is it Dougie or Dutchy that's listening to Chaotic Radio
Yeah,
on his cell phone?
that worked.
Now I have to second guess myself.
Well, don't worry. You should third guess yourself as well.
Now, Dutchy and Doug both have names that start with a D.
One owns the station, and the other is a very nice guy.
It's Dutchy and Steve Joyner is listening too.
Hey, Steve. Hey,
Steve,
Dutchy.
I hope you're feeling better, Steve. How you doing?
Yeah.
Get over this holiday sickness, man.
Yeah, you're just bummed out post-holiday, Steve.
You know whether it's in your head, a headache, or if it's deep down in your heart, or whatever. You know,
Yeah, Steve,
come on, let's
Steve
snap
is-
out of it. 2018 is here.
2018's here, kids.
And he is a Quattro Amigo.
You are the Cuatro Amigos, Steve Joyner.
Quattro amigos.
Dutchy, you would be Cinco Amigo.
We got a big old serape for you. We bought it down in Chula Vista, right next to your home.
I thought he bought it in Baldwin Park.
And a big old sombrero. It's Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday. No, it isn't, you
Is
moron. It's Monday.
officially the first Taco
No,
Tuesday.
no,
of
it's
the new year.
Monday. No, you're right. It's Tuesday.
It's
Yeah.
Tuesday, you
Holy
lunkhead.
crap. I
We're off
apologize.
Monday. It was a New
Today
Year's
is
Day.
Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. Hello.
Second day of the year, McFly.
Didn't you watch the Rose Parade?
No.
I
watched-
didn't watch it. Now let me tell you about the Rose
Hey,
I
Parade.
watched
tell me about this fire or whatever happened with your
Okay.
float
Jeff
then.
would set Rose Parade floats on fire and then masturbate over the flames. He tried to film himself doing it and nearly burned
That's
down
what
the...
pyros do. we need to play porno for pyros right now.
No. We don't want any Facebook jail. Nadia wants the...
No, porno for pyros. That's a Perry, the guy
Farrell.
from Jane's Addiction, right?
Yeah, you can play them.
Yeah.
No. We're not going to play them because we don't want to be in Facebook jail.
Oh, it doesn't matter. We've
No,
only
it's
got
YouTube jail.
It's YouTube jail.
YouTube jail. We don't want to be in
Facebook
YouTube jail.
jail.
Do you really want another nasty call from the guy from the Misfits?
Look.
I heard you were playing my music, you
Okay.
piece of crap.
Who watched the
Flag.
Rose Parade? Now, I was there working on the Rose Parade floats at this place called AES.
Masturbating over the flames
Okay, I
of the fire,
started,
he said.
one of the floats caught fire. Okay, I started live streaming, and it was spectacular. The owner got mad and found out I was live streaming. As the news helicopter the news helicopter is circling around.
Jeff stripped naked and was dancing around the flames like one of the Wild Boys,
Like-
Lord of the Flies.
Like
the
Rumpelstiltskin.
flames, how they dance.
But I turned the hose on while I was filming. We're trying
Whilst, hold on, in honor of Nadia, we're going to talk English. I turned the hose
Oh, I
on
turned
whilst
the bloody
I
hose
was
on.
filming.
I turned the bloody hose on. We tried
Whilst
to
I was
douse
filming.
the fire. We tried to put out the fire with gasoline, but it rose higher.
Thank you, David
So
Bowie.
with this big flume of fire, just of styrofoam like napalm, it just blowed up in the sky. We got helicopters filming.
Jeff grabbed his boss and say, bloody good fire, eh, Jeff?
Jolly good show.
Jolly
He
good
comes up to me. I'm offended. I'm offended. These people put their heart and souls into this project.
Oh, I'm touching my bits and watching
I'm
the flames
touching my
dance.
bits, saying it's a jolly good show. The world needs to know.
This is a jolly good flame.
He's like, you could pack your shit and get out of here.
That sounds like American to me.
And I said, look, I need this job. Look, I finished working the day. And they said, oh, we don't need you today. Thank
Jeff
you.
held up his flaccid penis and said, I am spent.
Thank you for thank you for your hard work.
I am
We'll call you when
streaming.
you need me. I doubt if they're gonna call me.
I'm gonna stream all over this float.
I have shot a stream of baby milk into the
So-
dancing flames.
This thing exploded like the drummer of Spinal Tap into this little globule.
I have spent my silver gift into the flame.
So they had to recreate this thing. On
That's
the
how you bloody thank me. You
Shut the fuck up. Let me tell my
suck
story.
Me, you suck me for hard work. Here I am, masturbating into the flame, and you have no.
Like Rumpelstiltskin dancing.
I have, whilst I fought the fire, I have shot a steady stream of baby milk into this
God.
magical dancing flame.
My radio voice is shot. Now let me finish my story.
I say, sir, don't you leave me
They
in
could
my...
have used my help. I
Don't-
was broke. I had no money to buy food because they fired my ass. And I was.
Please, sir, don't release me from my job.
I had to wait 2 more weeks to get 3 days of pay. Of
Jeff turned to him.
£23.
Jeff grabbed him by both of the pals and
They
said,
had to recreate.
please, sir.
Let me tell you, the float was the combine tractor float. It was the agricultural float. There was 2 of them hooked together with combine
Please, sir,
tractors.
don't
That tractor blew up like napalm into a little tiny globule. We had to
Please.
recreate it within 2 weeks, and it made the Rose Parade. I didn't make the go.
Please, sir, don't release me from my job.
I wanted to go to the parade. I wanted to see the
Don't-
marching band.
Don't sack me from my job, sir.
When I was a young boy, my father took me into the city to see the Black Parade. To see the Rose
Wiping
Parade.
me mouth hungrily, I said, is there something I can do to hold on to my job?
You know, it was the welder's fault. We had a careless welder, walked away from the project with
started-
the metal that was still hot, and the thing caught fire, and I'm the bad guy. I'm the motherfucking bad guy.
Jeff was just standing there naked, stinking of cigarettes.
He's like, I wish I was in the studio, because then maybe producer Dan would buy me something to eat.
More, please, producer Dan.
But
Boy,
Prince-
have been released
Prince-
to me job.
Prince Dutchy doesn't let him bring food in it.
The bloke's all right for a yank.
Please, sir.
May I
don't
have
sack
some
me
more?
from-
We want
Don't sack me from
food,
me.
glorious food. All we get to eat is gruel. We're tired of eating gruel.
Me mother was so proud of me working for the Rose Parade. What?
So, Jeff, what did you do for Christmas? Because you don't have family living here locally, do you?
Okay, for Christmas, I went with one of my elementary school friends, John Willis. He lives in Duarte.
Was he the one we had in the show?
No, he was. I posted that picture where he was starting his 1981 Yamaha, and we decided to go.
Uh-oh. Phone call. Could be the Black Lung people. Could be Dutchy. Could be Dougie. Let him on. Let loose the hounds of hell.
Hey, who's on the show?
Oh, hey, good morning, guys. It's Steve.
Hey, morning,
Hi,
Steve. How are
Steve.
you, sir?
Oh God, I lost my voice. Having
Oh, yeah. Are you still interviewing Naughty? Because I don't want to interrupt your.
No, we
No.
finished with her about 10 minutes ago.
We were going on about how the float, how I got fired from the Rose Parade.
How he got fired from the Rose Parade for starting a fire.
I didn't start the fire.
What?
No, the one of the floats caught fire, and I tried to I started streaming live, and the owner got pissed
Naked
and
like a
offended.
rebel silkskin.
And all of a sudden, I'm the bad guy now, and not the guy who started the fire.
You know, every time you go live, there's a car accident, there's a shooting, there's...
And I get in trouble for it. Somebody gets
you know,
mad.
You notice a trend here. No, I don't mean it's weird. When you're in Texas, it was like an OK Corral fight out. I don't know what happens. You know?
So two guys started shooting at each other, and cars are still driving by.
You had a gunfight? You filmed a gunfight?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, don't you remember, Pat, don't you remember that when he was in Texas? He's all, I should get back to L.A. It's safer because there was all these, like, there's a shooting or some shit, remember that?
Yeah, it was on a main street, and the guy, get your hand up. Yeah, and ambulance and fire truck. And then cars are just still cruising by while the two cars are stopped, and two thugs are out there, bam, 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 shooting at each other.
Wow,
Yeah.
broad daylight.
Okay.
Well, listen, I wanted to tell you that I heard some of the show with Nadia went pretty good. I guess I don't know. I heard snippets of it. Because
It was interesting. I thought she was cool. What'd you guys think?
She's very British.
No, very sweet, very earnest.
Okay, but you guys are on the air till 9, correct?
Yeah. You got somebody else for us?
You got somebody else for us?
I got a surprise for you.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what we call a correctable experience in radio.
Uh-oh.
Okay, Brad, Curly's grandson still wants to. I'll talk to you guys off the air about that. He still wants to come in. But do you remember when you guys were gone and Dan? We love Dan, but remember when he had Engelberg, Gary Cavanero for the Bad News Bears on, and then no one heard it. No one heard it because of a copyright issue. I just talked to Gary, and he said to give him a ring in about 15 minutes, and he'll come on and do a revised interview.
Yeah, let's do that because we got some time.
We owe Engelbert an interview.
We got to kill some time.
He said he'll do it. He said he was in a meeting right now, and I said, and he's a good guy, and he's got some cool story. I mean, ask Dan. He interviewed him.
Dan, what a nightmare! Don't leave Dan by himself. We can't hear you, Dan.
No, Dan.
We can't hear you.
Great.
I played a song, and the song
It's not
was
Dan's fault.
copyrighted, so I'm told I could play any song I want, but for some reason somebody had a stick up their ass and said,
Was it Glenn Danzig?
Yes, it was Glenn Danzig.
Well, why don't you play? Was there any theme songs? What songs for the Bad News Bear?
Wait. No, but no, you can't because of copyright. But do you remember the Bad News Bears? They had, what was it, Pavarotti? They had some. Remember they had like.
Yeah, they had Bolero. They play Bolero, and they play a couple other. Those are public domain, I think, because they're like 200 years old. But let's not play anything.
I was going to say that would have been cool, but let's make sure that we don't,
Yeah, we'll play nothing because we don't want to be in Facebook jail or YouTube jail. Bless you.
Excuse me.
I don't want to be in Jeff Sargent jail.
No.
Okay,
No.
so we could do this two ways. I could send you his number, and you could give him a call in about 10 minutes, or how do you want to do it?
Can you call him and give him the radio station number again?
909-360
and
8330
and have him call in.
Okay, we'll do. So he's in Texas. He's a couple hours ahead, and he was in a meeting. So I'm going to call him back.
That'll be good because we got
at 8:30.
Because we got
40 minutes to kill.
45 minutes, and we're just beating each other up, being jerks right now.
Yeah, no, we're beating up everybody else in
This is
station.
true.
We're just saying how stupid Dan is today, man.
Hey, I like Dan.
God, he's a retard.
Hey,
he was asking
not
Nadia,
cool.
like, really, London, that's a good country. Yeah, that's a city in the country.
Hey, they legalized pot. What do you want?
You're just like he's just fucking up all over the place.
This is Steve on the line, Dan, your AA sponsor, and he's very disappointed.
He's thinking Dublin. He thinks Dublin is Dolby. He's thinking Dublin is in Scotland. Like, come on, Dan.
Hey, I got one better than that. I won't say the name of the person, but you guys know who it is.
Yes.
This person actually thought San Francisco was its own state.
Oh God.
It should be.
Oh, yeah. You know what? Steve, there's grown adults that say, "Where were you born, Jeff?" And I said, Wilmington. I said Delaware. I was born in Delaware. Where were you born? Delaware. They go, "Which state is that in?" I go,
And I haven't met many people from Delaware. No, I mean Judge Reinhold is from Delaware, actually.
"Yeah."
I did not know that.
And the thing is, people think Chicago is a state. Some people think that's what dumb people
What the-
are.
Oh my God!
Dumbed up
unreal.
America. I mean, you know.
It's too much. Anyway, speaking of Chicago, I don't know if I ever told you guys I'm friends with a lot of the Blues Brothers band. You know Murphy Dunn, and remember the drummer Willie Hall.
Yeah.
Willie Hall. I put on a few interviews, and I talked to him yesterday, and he said he'd go on, and he said how governed by censorship are they? I said, why is that? He said, you know my famous line I give to Belushi in that movie. He says I say that every now and then.
Well, we can get away with it here.
We'd
believe
love
me.
to have Willie on the air. I just watched Blues Brothers over the break. It's great.
Yeah, I'll
And
send you.
he's one of the original. I mean, he's a real musician, man.
Not only is he a real musician, he's
he
in one of
writes
the funniest
songs.
scenes. Yeah.
He's a composer.
Well, oh, dude, he's awesome. He's got a funny story. He was roommates with Billy Joel a long time ago.
Really?
So there
This is
you
a true
go,
story.
right there.
No. This is hilarious. He said that Billy and him were roommates just when they were just starting out, and he said he would stay up all night. And he said, I couldn't get no sleep around him. He said, so I called whoever it was, said I need to leave, get away from Billy. He said, I love him, but he's driving me nuts. And he said Billy came in at 2 a.m. one time, and Willie had some female company. He says, hey man, sorry to bother you. He said, I'm writing this song. It's like lyrical man or piano guy or something like that. He said, you want in on this? He said, no man. He said I wish I could go. He said he was writing Piano Man at the time, and he wanted to get him in on it. And he said, no, it's okay. He said, now I kick myself every time I think about that opportunity.
Wow. He asked him for help.
Well, my wife is from Chicago, Steve, and
Yeah.
Is your wife in the Blues Brothers?
yeah, she was. Shut up. No, her family still lives back there, and they're freezing. And I thought I was freezing this morning, and it was like 50-something degrees, and I'm like, oh man, it's cold. Then I
Well,
get pictures from my wife's family. It's like 14 degrees or 10 degrees,
Well, Gene Coulter was in the Blues Brothers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was in
she's
the
in
mall.
the underground
She
mall.
did. She did a lot of stunts in that, didn't she?
Yeah, she's going to be doing the Hollywood show. Are you guys going to come out to that? I mean, me and Pat talked about that.
Oh yeah.
I'm
We're gonna
always
get
up
her.
for Steve Joyner. and
She
Jane
could do
Coulter.
the studio when she comes out. She could on her way back. She could do the show. Hopefully, she could do the show here, depending on what day it is.
Yeah, we can pre-tape it.
Do what?
We can pre-tape her and doing the.
Well, maybe we could bring the show to the Jeff Sargent show to the Hollywood show.
Well, that's what Eddie Deason wanted you to do. But the thing here's my
I was
thing about when
unprepared. I didn't have no. I
I
was there to collect people.
Well, yeah, but here's when I see interviews done at autograph shows, I don't really like them because there's always background noise and people.
Oh, I
think
know,
about
they're
this.
horrible.
It's kind of not that good. So I mean, I told Pat the other day, and what we have going on here is a 6 degrees of separation type deal. So I was telling Pat the lineup of the February Hollywood show.
Pretty good, actually.
And Pat either knows or I mean tell him, Pat. I mean,
Well,
you
yeah,
know
no.
something.
Through 6 degrees of separation, I interviewed half the guests they're having. I mean, through different, like Tori. You mentioned Tori Spelling was going.
Tori Spelling, yep.
I
A
did
lot of
the-
90210 kids.
My first signing for my first book, Tori came in. Tori and Dean were doing an episode of their show, and their producer walks up to me and he goes, "In a minute, Dean and Tori is going to walk through that door, and we need you to give him a copy of your book."
Oh God!
And it was at a screening, and I signed the truth. I said, "Hey, Dean, you married a goddess." And to her credit, Tori Spelling was sweet as hell. And between takes, she came by, tapped me on the shoulder, and said, "Hey, I really want to thank you for what you wrote in the book." And I said, "It's the truth, Tori." And Tori, she actually took a picture to kind of help pimp the Jaws book. It was her and I with like nothing but copies of the book. She was very sweet. She's very cool. You know what I mean? Very nice girl. She's just a cool chick. And I told her, I've interviewed like half the cast of 90210, And there's a couple members they'll trash, but they'll always say nice things about her. And she seemed amazed that people were saying she worked with said nice things about her. I go, Tori, of course, they loved you, you know.
Oh, she never did anything really that bad, you know. I
No,
mean,
she was just being humble, I think, because it's
Yeah.
like, Tori, no, why would they badmouth you? You know.
It's just I don't know. No, she seems pretty cool. I've never met her, but did you? Speaking of Jaws, though, did you ever interview Jim Beller?
I'm friends with him on the line. I don't think he's the model guy, right? He makes models.
Yeah, I talked to him. No, he introduced me to Joe Alves. This guy did, and he's got one of the largest Jaws collections on Earth.
Yeah, I thank Jim in the book. Jim and Chris Kishka, another big Jaws collector, they let me photograph some of their collection for the book, which, you know, I, of course, was grateful for. Jim and I are friends online.
Yeah, no, I called Jim up, and I'm going to see if you guys ever have an interest to talk to him or whatever, because he's got a insane. You can find on YouTube, Jeff, this guy's collection of Jaws stuff. It is unreal.
I mean,
He's
as,
got, like,
as far as props and toys and collectibles, or what?
no, like real barrels from the Orca. Like
actual
just-
real
just
props from the movie that they used on
real
the set.
props.
Oh.
Yeah, Kishka has, when they had Hooper in the shark cage, they started out by having a little person in a miniature cage. And when he saw a real shark, there was like a 12-foot shark, but they figured with the little person in the cage, he'd look 24 feet. But when he saw the size of the great white, he refused to get in the water. Kishka actually has the miniature mock-up air tank. The other problem Joe Alves had is if a real air tank would take about 12 to 15 minutes, if the little person got scared, he would suck the air up in like 4 to 8 minutes.
Now, was that the little person that got in the car accident? And then he ran to the
Carl Rizzo, yes.
He ran to the audition because Spielberg's like, what happened? He's all, well, I got in a car accident, but I really want this job.
Yes, that's the guy. You know, and Alves found out when the little guy refused to go down in the cave, that's when they got the footage of the shark getting tangled up in the fake shark cage and knocking it loose. So what it looks like a monster shark tearing the cage apart is actually a real shark who got caught up in the line and he's trying to tear himself free.
Yeah, no, that was it's the 40th of Jaws 2, it's the 40th of Grease, it's the 40th of
Superman the movie.
Superman the movie.
40th of Halloween. 40th of the original Halloween, John Carpenter.
Oh, I did not think about that one. You're right.
Yes, sir. Coming out in October, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a lot of, like you said, Jeff, there's a lot of people there that Pat has met before. And so, I mean, I don't know. We were talking about Carl Strickland. I mean, for God's sake, I mean, that was, you know, he played Lurch. And
Carl Strickland, yeah. He used to be, when I first met Carol, I've interviewed him a couple times for Star Trek the Magazine. Carol had, I did this crazy never finish. It was eventually finished years later. But I did this crazy Michael Jackson video that Carol was playing Lurch in. Okay. And they needed, I was in it as another, I'm a villager. It was written by Stephen King. It was directed by Mick Garris. People can go to my Facebook page. In October, somebody released all the footage from it on the Spanish YouTube. The charges came up on Michael Jackson, and this iteration of the video was never finished. But I had to double Carol Stricken, and they needed 2 apple boxes for me to stand on before I was the same height as him. He's very.
How tall is he?
He's like 7'3".
Are you serious?
Oh yeah.
I didn't know he's that tall.
7'3".
Yeah, he's way taller than me because they had to put me on 2 apple boxes to be his height.
Well, you're just a midget, man.
I know. I was embarrassed.
Okay, hey, let's get that phone call.
I'm gonna call him up. I'm gonna call Gary up right now, and then just
because I just posted on Facebook that we're gonna get a call from him. So.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, talk amongst yourselves.
Hey, Steve, Happy New Year, by the way.
Happy New Year, brother.
Smile and enjoy life, man. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Here in California, you're not shoveling snow. No reason to be sad.
Yeah, that's true. And then I'll talk to you guys later today about Curly's grandson. I mean, I'm telling
you. Got it, brother.
I'm going to set up. I'm going to jam with that guy because he plays drums. And I want to jam with him.
Hey, find somebody for us for Hot Chick Friday.
Yeah, we need a hot chick Friday.
How would you guys feel about interviewing a former Playboy Playmate of the Month?
Yes.
Perfect. What's her name?
I'll tell you the details.
Oh, sure,
offline.
sure.
Yes.
And she's cool as the day is long. All right.
Oh, yeah.
I'll talk to you guys later today. Let me get a hold of Gary.
All right, brother. Have a New Year.
Call me
Thank
later
you.
today.
You got it.
Call me later today.
Thank
All
you,
right, bye-bye.
Steve.
Thank you, Steve.
Okay. Now I just posted on the post.
Oh, it's a good picture.
What's the guy's name?
Engelbert in Bad News Bears. What's his name, Dan? You interviewed him before.
Don't ask him. He don't know.
I've been smoking weed all night. I don't know nothing.
Don't ask that stupid dummy.
Gary Lee Cavagno. Cavagno.
Gary.
We're going to have Gary Lee Cavagnaro. Cavagnaro.
What's his character?
Engelbert.
Engelbert?
He was the catcher in the Bad News Bears.
Wow.
Good guy.
Wow. Really?
Yeah. So, no, he was a good interview. He was a good guy.
Good.
You know, I'm not used to being here by myself. So, when I am,
Well, you're one of the three amigos, man. You need us and we need you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how this works. We need Jamal's bagels, so I'm going to have to talk to
that's why
Dutchie.
We had 2 weeks, and I was like, should I go in and just do the show to make sure it stays afloat? Or
Right, to keep our
I'm
show.
like, no, I can't do it.
No,
without Jeff
stays
and
afloat.
without
No, he
Pat.
gets fucking sunk to shit, man. Damn.
I'm bringing bricks into
Yeah.
the
Fuck,
show.
raise the Titanic. Raise the sunk at the bottom floor
Jeff
now.
calls me. He goes, thanks to Dan keeping the brand alive. We have to go back in and save the show.
Damn.
And Jeff comes in here talking like a smoking old 60-year-old woman.
I know what happened, Jeff.
Or a director from Wisconsin.
Yeah, but the director was good. We love Deborah. It's about a vampire. He goes, and his voice never changed inflection. It was the worst. You could hear cancer floating all around his lungs.
The guy had the worst voice for radio. It's like that tracheotomy.
I'm talking out of my stoma.
Hey, remember that commercial on TV where the lady's smoking for throat cancer? Whatever. She's like, you shouldn't smoke. And then she puffs her smoke through her fucking tracheotomy hole.
We have an impossibly adorable scream queen in front of us, Deborah, and she made us call this guy, and he's talking for 10 minutes.
No, longer than that.
I'm going on about my bipolar vampire movie. Blah, 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 blah. And I realized that everybody who had this guy call in is texting and doing other stuff to avoid listening to him. Remember that?
Yes, and she's busy dancing around,
She's dancing around the studio, and I think, why? And
in
I
a
said
wife beater with no bra. Like, okay, we got a girl in front of us.
dancing.
This guy is dancing. And
Droning, this guy is
droning.
droning on and on. And it's like, why don't we talk to the live scream queen rather than the chain smoker on the phone from North Carolina? Or Wisconsin or
Wherever they make that cheese.
Yeah, Wisconsin.
They make sugar. They farm sugar beets.
Hey, that reminds me, Deborah, you got to do your first appearance of 2018 on our show.
That's right. We're going to have lots of dancing here. We're going to bring in a pole. We're going to do some pole dancing right here in the studio.
Deborah, your moment has arrived. And Jeff,
let's have some dead air. Let's have a silence. This is for all the people that couldn't get up in the morning. And how about this?
This is for Adam West. 10 minutes of silence.
Okay. How about one for all the douchebag Hollywood producers out there that think there's something? Hey, check this out.
Are you having more Harvey Weinstein flashbacks, Jeff?
Oh God! How about this? How about a call from a special effects guy that?
Oh yeah, tell that story. It's pretty funny.
Yeah. That
don't use his name, but tell us.
I'm going to work with director Herschel Gordon Lewis from Blood Feast.
Herschel's been dead for like 5 years, I think.
Yeah. Now he's like the Ed Wood of the next generation of horror after Ed Wood.
His
right?
movies are incompetent, but they had early gore, which is why he was famous.
It was early gore, and it was just like schlock. It was nostalgic.
Yeah.
Kind of. Where you're using mannequins for dead bodies,
Covered in like Caro syrup.
You
or-
cut somebody's arm off and ketchup and, the mannequin arm, plaster arm
cow
falls
tongue
off.
and all that.
Yeah, cow tongue, yeah.
So you called this old effects guy to be on the air, and what did he tell you?
No, he wasn't old. He just, I realized that he looked up at him like he was like some sort of horror god.
What's hilarious is
And he goes, I go, you would come on our show? Yeah. Well, one thing Herschel Gordon Lewis told me is never do an interview for free.
Herschel did free interviews all the time, so I don't know he's smoking, but he's wrong.
Let me tell you, we don't get paid for this. This is a fun thing. This is we only get paid $1 million a year for this.
Listen, you never listen. This is a rule. You never ever pay for interviews. You never pay for interviews. I've done 400 published interviews. You never pay for interviews. I've had I have cats who asked me for interviews. Don Adams asked for money for an interview, and I told him no. Jonathan Harris, Dr. Smith from Lost in Space, wanted money for an interview.
Yeah.
No. You've
You-
got 1 million free interviews, and you're going to charge me. I'm not
It
going
doesn't matter what station you're on. You're not going to get paid for an interview.
Nobody pays for an
It's a
interview.
privilege. We're doing you the favor by plugging you and promoting you on the radio.
And
This
once
is
you're
your
asking
chance.
for money, you know what I mean?
And to tell your story and just make things better, okay? You're just going to add more. You want to gain more fans and respect and tell us your story. This is all entertainment.
Yeah.
And
You got a movie coming out? What's the better way to do than to promote it on a radio show?
Yeah, and it's not like it's Bill O'Reilly, where like I go back and I check your background and I'm looking and I'm trying to dig up dirt on you.
Yeah.
You know, when people come in and when they
We
leave,
don't care about your dirt, your past bullshit.
they're just
We're
like,
here to promote you and do your fun stuff and what you got going on and to make the best of what you got.
Yeah, they always say like, "Hey man, it was just like sitting in a living room, with 3 friends."
And half these people that most of these people that say, "Oh, I want to get paid. I don't do interviews for free." There's no one waiting in line saying to pay you to come on the radio.
Yeah, we don't do,
So
nobody does that.
I'll come back at you. Okay, who's paid you to be on the radio?
That was your first
Give us a
That
list.
should have been your first question for him.
That's who's paying you? How many times and what's your price? Yeah. How many thousands of dollars? It could range from 25 cents
Jeff, you
to
sound like an old smoking lady.
$25,000.
a pack of smokes.
I was the most beautiful woman in Hollywood at one point.
I was the little girl on Frankenstein.
Oh, I told you that story. Yeah, you guys heard that story. My brother had an after
Wait,
school.
he's here. He's ringing. He's on
Whoa.
the phone. He's on the
Answer
phone.
the phone, Denon.
We got him. We got him on the phone.
There you go.
Hey. Hello.
Come into the light, Gary Germano. Gary.
Gary.
Hey, no. It's not Gary. It's Steve. Listen, I just talked to him right now. He's in the process of moving. He's going to call back in 10 minutes. And so I know
That
it's
son
like
of a
eight-
bitch.
No, I know it's like 8:38. So I'm wondering, are you guys? Oh man,
When we get
how do
paid
do
by
this?
the minute here.
No, the whole going over.
A whole penny a
This
minute.
is going to cost you, Dutchie.
We're gonna pull. We're gonna pull the
No, I mean-
Bitcoin out of chaotic radio.
I mean, I don't want you guys to get busted, but can you go over? What's
We'll say
you know,
no
we're
just to
talking-
protect Dan the man's hide. If not, he can call tomorrow. You know what I mean? No big.
Just get it, man. We got 20 more minutes of fun here.
20 more minutes of
Okay.
fun. The clock is
All right.
ticking. We can have him on for 10 minutes. What the hell?
And I'm gonna go back to my grovelly voice.
Yeah.
Was I not beautiful? Yeah. So my brother.
Smoking
So
his Pall Malls.
my brother is working after school. My brother Don at 7-Eleven, and he's on this night shift, this terrible ROP job. And the old lady there says, "You boys like horror movies? I used to
like
be
horror movies?
I used
I'm
to
the
be the
little-
little girl in Frankenstein."
I'm the little girl from Frankenstein.
And we're like, "Oh my
he threw me in the
God.
pond.
He threw me in the pond." It's like, oh my God, the little girl from Frankenstein is working night shift at 7-Eleven chain smoking outside every 20 minutes. And so,
Did she have a tracheotomy?
no, but not
Plug in her hole when she's talking.
in her stoma.
I thought everybody who worked in
Hey.
7-Eleven to talk like this.
All right, racist.
But you know what though? Never, I don't know. I was
No,
gonna
go ahead,
say, so
Dan.
he's-
Go ahead, Steve.
So we'll have like 10 minutes with the guy.
That works.
Oh shoot! All
That's
right.
all right. 10 minutes we can work with. He has 3
That's
credits.
good. Let's get the most out of it.
He's got 3 credits. We'll do 3 minutes per film.
There you go.
So, but listen to Steve. So she's talking. We're all excited. My brother tells me I'm working with the little girl from Frankenstein. So Tom Hatton. Everybody remember Tom Hatton? He had the Sunday movie show.
Oh, the Popeye.
Yeah,
guy,
he dropped
right?
Popeye
Yeah,
and.
he made
Oh,
a-
that's what you know. What I
he
drew
made
that guy a
pictures out
picture
of
one time.
squirrels.
Oh, you
Yeah.
drew him a picture, or did he show it in the show?
No, he only because it sucked, and I wanted to win tickets to Marineland.
Oh.
No, but no. If you
poor
drew
kid.
him a picture and he liked it, he would send you tickets to Marineland. You know that?
Did he crumble yours on the air?
I don't know what happened. I really don't. But I remember like no. If you used to mail him a picture, you guys don't remember this? You'd be like, oh, this
He
was drawn by so and so,
he
and
said-
you got 2 tickets to Marineland. You
He
know?
said, "This is the little Steve Joyner. This is the worst drawing of Popeye I've ever seen."
Popeye Squiggle contest.
It looks like Popeye's on fire. So anyway,
No.
but Tom Hatton goes on the air, you guys, and he says, "I'm going to show Frankenstein at the end of the month, and I know the little girl from Frankenstein is living in Southern California." And my brother Don is so excited. This is going to be Bridget's big moment. So Donald starts calling KTLA Channel 5, KTLA Channel 5. "Oh my God, Mr. Hatton, I've got the little old lady from the little girl from Frankenstein. I'm working with her. She's right here. You can come get her." And Tom Hatton listens to my brother for a minute and he goes, "What's her name?" Mm-hmm. He goes, "She's not the little girl from Frankenstein." He goes, he goes, "Don't say anything to her. She was probably a little girl extra in a later Frankenstein movie."
A Glenn Strange version.
Yeah, the Glenn Strange version or something. He goes, "She probably believes with all her heart that she had a big moment in Frankenstein." But Tom Hatton, God love him, he's like, "Don't say anything to her about this. Just say, oh, they found the other girl from Frankenstein. Let her down gently." And my brother never told her, but she went on, even when Tom Hatton had the real woman on, "I was the little girl in Frankenstein," until Donald got a better job.
We're going to make a movie. We're going to make a short little film for this about that 7-Eleven, about the little girl from
We have the
Frankenstein.
perfect cameras for it.
We have the perfect cameras for it.
Oh, yeah.
Very good.
It looks like a 7-Eleven. No, Steve, doesn't the YouTube cameras need to zoom it down?
I can still
I
see.
think this could be improved. They look like security cameras at a 7-Eleven.
I can still
Well,
see.
let me. Okay, look. Are either one of you by a computer right now?
Yes,
I'm by,
yes.
All right,
I'm
all
by
right, all
7
right.
of them.
No, not you, Dan.
I got. Yeah, fuck you, Dan.
Oh,
You don't
yeah,
have.
I'm sorry, Dan. You had the
Yeah,
ball and
thanks,
dropped it.
Steve.
Well, I'm just saying, Dan. It's just I don't want any. You know what the feds are or anything. Listen, no.
Well, look, I got my
keep
computer
that,
right
keep
here,
that,
Steve.
No. All joking. Okay, I want Jeff. I want you to Google this name, Christine Richards. It's
K
last
or
name
C?
CHRISTINE, and the last name is RICHPERS. She was the Playboy. She's a friend of mine that was in Playboy.
Christine
Yes.
Richards, IMDb.
What
She
are you
was like-
listening to, Jeff?
Jeff, get that off the air,
Thank you. Yeah, no. See, now you're causing dead air, Steve.
yeah. No, so
I'm not
you-
causing there. We're talking.
hang on. I will.
I gotta fill the air with something. So
It's
me and
true.
Patrick will.
we will
fill some
banter.
time
We will
here.
banter. How are you, Daniel son?
I am doing good. How was your Christmas?
My Christmas was merry. In fact, I 3 ghosts kept me up the night before.
Does your family live here or they live in Detroit?
No, we've got some family in Detroit, but the immediate family's out here, and we had a great time. We went to my brother Steve's. My two nephews, 7 and 9, I hung out with them. I spent like a fortune in Five
We
Nights at
interrupt
Freddy's.
this program
Oh, here we go.
for Christine Richards, Playboy Playmate of 1986.
Wow.
Wait, I posted this on Facebook that our Bad News Bear guy is going to call in. Get his ass on the phone, please.
All right, okay, but but we'll talk later on about that. Ask, let me know
I'm
if you
looking
guys.
at her nude picture right now.
All right, do you want her to come in the studio?
Yes,
and-
I
Let's
do.
show this, yes.
Yes, I do. Now
Okay.
let's get the Bad News guy. Look, I already
All right,
posted.
hold
I don't want to be a
on.
fraud. I
Let
don't
me-
want to be a
let me-
fraud.
Let me call him. Hold on.
Get his
Hold on.
ASS and the AIR.
God.
Put him on the three-way.
It's another Manic Monday.
No,
Hey,
it's
quit reading
Tuesday.
your
Did we
information.
not
It's
know this?
Tuesday. It's another
Scroll,
Taco
that,
Tuesday.
scroll back up to that
Tuesday.
picture. Holy centerfold.
And speaking of Taco Tuesday,
I think
Yeah,
I
it's-
know who she
Yeah. It's the no fap zone here at Chaotic Radio.
so
Okay, so he's supposed to call back. I know he's in the process of moving. If we don't get him today, just say we'll
We'll book him again.
yeah,
you made us a
exactly.
liar, sir.
I don't mean to lie. No, he's in the process of moving. But I'm gonna send you his number too. You know what? I'll send you his number. You give him a call. Okay.
Yeah.
Real nice guy. You talked to him, Dan. Remember?
Yeah. No, it was a great interview. Great stories with
Look,
Walter
look,
Malchow and Jack Lemmon. and-
Jeff, go to your messenger, and here's his number, and give him a ring, and you guys may, if you can, go over. I don't want to. You know what I'm saying? Okay, hold on. But yeah, Christina, we'll talk about that later. Let me know if that's something.
No,
you'd like to-
right now she's looking good.
Yeah, I don't care. Anybody looks good back then is going to look good now.
Okay, so Jeff, go to your messenger. Tell me if you see it.
Okay, I see it.
All right. Well, I should give him a ring, and I'll hang up and try to get a hold of him and just say, hey, we know you're moving, but hello. He's a nice. Ask Dan. Dan's a nice guy. Just
Right. It's
All right, bye, guys.
Here comes
All right,
Jeff
bye. Hey, thank you.
marching in with his phone into the
All right, bye.
engineering booth.
Bye, Steve. Thank you. Yeah, Jeff and Dan are now in the engineering booth, so I will entertain you with my dulcet tones. It feels like a Monday on a Tuesday, doesn't it?
It does.
In all the wrong ways. Wow.
I don't know what he's doing in here.
Okay, he's telling you to
he's
call a
giving
number.
me the number to call.
He's giving you the signal.
I'm
Go-
doing
Commissioner
this,
going to the end of
reading
Batman the
this,
movie?
watching this. I got to turn off my mic.
Steve's gone.
Steve's gone. Okay. Call him up right now, Dan.
Right now, Dan. Right effing now.
Okay.
You got 14 minutes of Engelbert.
Welcome to the Dead Air Show on Chaotic
I
Radio.
kept chatting. There was no dead air this time, sir.
This is the Dead Air Show. Let's have a moment of silence. Oh, that was 2 seconds. That
Adam
was
West.
1 second of silence. Oh, man, that's a nice picture. You know what? Back in the 80s, I love the Playboy pictures back in the 80s. They were done, the photography was done very well.
Superb.
Superb. Yep.
She was born in Fullerton, too.
Fullerton. Beep, beep, beep.
Get to hear the phone beeping. This is very compelling.
Very compelling.
Very.
What's this guy's name again?
Gary,
Gary, remember you had him on a show once.
you don't even know your own name right now.
This is Ryan Rupp, our board man.
I'm telling you, pot's legal now, man. I don't need to know.
This is
nothing.
Ryan from the Black Lung Show. That way he won't be mad at you for last time. Gary's ducking us, boys. Gary!
Gary, this is Chaotic Radio calling
Live
you.
on the air, Gary.
Live on the air.
Yeah,
we want to
he's on
talk
the
to you.
air. No, he's not answering.
No, all we got was his phone machine.
Gary, your
Yeah.
phone machine.
That's it. Let's talk to his phone machine.
Hey,
Hey,
we're
Gary.
Gary. This is Chaotic Radio, the Jeff Sargent Show. We want to talk to you, man. Call us back.
Yeah, or give us a call tomorrow because we're getting kind of late.
Yeah,
on
we're in the
time.
last 12 minutes. Gary, call us tomorrow.
But
We'll
you can
come take your thumbs.
Yeah, and you'll have a real interview, unlike with me.
Yeah, you got two guys that know how to interview. You got-
We'll have a good interview, Gary.
yeah, not some.
Got some guy smoked up on dope.
Yeah,
Some
that's
Stage
some
Door
idiot.
Johnny smoked
It's
up
now
a dope.
legal in California.
It is now legal in California,
Yeah,
Gary. It's time to come back.
We pulled the ship out of the water that Dan sunk.
Dan took our show and turned it into the Edmonds Fitzgerald for you Michiganders.
Yeah. All right.
I turned it into the Titanic.
Yeah.
All right, Gary.
Bye,
Have a
Gary.
good
Thank
day.
you.
So let's plug our sponsors.
Yes.
Did
let's
you
not
know
forget.
that the Jeff Sargent Show is brought to you by Pacific Wine Merchants and Cigar Exchange in downtown Upland?
Delish, right by the train and by the IHOP.
Yes, it's at the Metrolink station in Upland.
Quick question for you. Where can we get a good New York bagel made with New York water?
Ah, that would be the New York Bagel Company.
Yum.
Right in Rancho Cucamonga. Our buddy Jamal, who
Ask
runs...
for Jamal, the man himself.
Yes, he will make you the best breakfast sandwich. You know what I like? My favorite New York bagel on the corner of Foothill and Archibald and Rancho Cucamonga. I go there for breakfast. I want the blueberry bagel with egg and cheese and sausage. That's my sandwich from
It's pretty damn good.
It's damn good. You feel good the rest of the day.
I had the everything bagel with our guest Mark Savage, and we
Your
loved
body
it.
absorbs everything from these and makes you feel good.
You feel like doing handstands, man. It's delicious.
And then after work, you get off work, head on down to the wine merchant again and have a fine cigar and some craft beer or a delicious glass of wine and live music on the weekends.
Live music on the weekends, a lot of fun. Our friend Eric Alagi plays there all the time.
We also got a sponsor from Huggies Adult Diapers, the best for your...
We listen to Jeff. Jeff sounds like an old starlet. Was I not once beautiful?
the best geriatric diapers for adults in the universe.
And
Yes.
if you don't tell anyone, I was the little girl in Frankenstein. This was pre-internet, kids.
Yeah.
She could pull crap like that off.
If you're gonna shit your pants, you want Huggies
She's an
Adult
old
Diapers.
lady. Why would she lie?
Easy to change. You can do it by yourself without the assistance of a caretaker.
I changed
That's
myself
Huggies
as the
Adult
fake,
Diapers.
the fake old lady from
A proud
Frankenstein.
sponsor of the Jeff Sargent Show.
I am the fake old lady from Frankenstein. Bridget, you lied to us.
Hey,
My brother, being anal retentive. Bridget, that's not your name in the movie.
I got a question for you,
I
Pat.
changed my name. That was my Hollywood name.
I got a question for
Lay
you.
it on me, baby.
Okay, how many little girls were there in all the Frankenstein movies?
There was like 3, and none of them were her.
Only one of them died. Only one of
Right.
them threw into the lake.
And even if she was an extra, it doesn't count because Frankenstein never met you. You
There
stood
was a
in-
little girl that made friends and gave him some snacks to eat, and licorice or something like that. And he had a good friend. And one gave him a cigar.
And one was, but that was the blind guy. That was the little girl gets killed. Remember,
Well,
she's
he
playing
took
with
the cigar and he took it to the mountains, and the old man lit the cigar.
Here's kind of a mind-blowing true story. Frankenstein only growled in the original film. James Whale thought he should have dialogue. So in Bride of Frankenstein, considered the best Universal classic horror film of all time, they gave
You're
him...
approaching the maximum length for a recording.
Oh no,
Finish
we're
your
still on
recording
Gary's
after the
recording.
tone.
Oh, man, we still got 5 minutes.
We just
keep
killed
going.
his-
Keep going with that story.
Yeah, so the monster has 15 words in Bride of Frankenstein. And all the words came off a list. Every child actor...
You've reached the maximum length for a recording. To send this message, press pound or hang up.
Gary's going to be
Play
afraid
it.
to call in
3.
tomorrow.
To re-record it. 4.
I
To
might have
add to
police
it.
at my,
5.
at
To
my house
discard
when I
it.
get home.
6.
So So the words Frankenstein says and the
To
monster
send this
says,
message, press pound or hang up. To play it,
boy, oh boy, this one's
to
going right into
re-record
the...
it, 4.
This
To
episode
add
is...
to it, 5.
This episode's going right to the Smithsonian. Our finest hour, ladies and gentlemen.
So 15 lines in Frankenstein.
Yeah, it was 15 words every child actor coming in for an audition should know. Fire, friend, good, bad. And he just gave Boris Karloff, and he read from the lines.
Wait. Hold on,
let's
everything.
keep this going.
I just got a text. I just got an inbox message from all these people that never comment on my Facebook
Right,
page.
right.
They said, pass the light. Let's keep
this going.
Let's keep this going. Let's see how far this could go. All the way to Bangladesh.
I wish I could send a killer virus to every junk mail friend who sent me that. Let's keep this going. Let's have a snowball
fight. Oh, happy winter time.
Happy winter time. Way to get off the fence. Not even Merry Christmas or Happy
Oh my
Hanukkah.
God, let's share the light. Look, here it is. Look.
Yeah. And I would
Keep it going. Pass it to Dan.
I would put a killer virus in everybody who sent me that over the break.
Those
They're mainly
chain
girls.
emails are the worst.
Yeah.
No, I
Let's have
don't
some
even
chain letters. Pass it to your
reply.
next 12 people for good luck.
It's like getting junk mail from a crazy cat lady.
Yeah.
It just arrives and it's like, you don't say anything on my wall all year, but you're going to hand me this.
Yeah,
'Cause
if you like this and pass it on to 10 friends,
I'll
you'll
drop
get
the hammer on,
$100.
pass it on.
Yeah.
I'm not,
Pass this on.
yeah, F you.
Yeah.
Pass this on, motherfucker. God, I never dropped so many F-bombs on my whole radio career as I did on this show today.
F-bombs from Jeff today, 20. F-bombs from me, 0.
Let's
no
make
swearing
20.
at all.
Let's make 2018 fucking great
One of
again.
my resolutions is to swear less, people, and that's my goal.
I can't swear any less because I really don't swear
Oh.
that much.
I don't think you give a fuck.
I don't. I just plan on getting stoned.
I mean, a flip. Oh, the flipping bird.
And this is Larry, Dave's, Dan's AA sponsor. We'll put you right through.
Tag, you are it. It's the official snowball fight.
Who's
has
that
begun.
from? I want the name of that jerk.
Hit as many friends as you can before they hit you.
Send them something back in all caps. You've been infected with the virus. Who's that from? Name that jerk.
Oh, that's from Debbie. You know how many Debbies there are out there?
It was like the generic go-to name for like a 10-year period.
Yeah.
I got some tickets sitting here for a band called Which One's Pink in Pasadena. It must be a tribute band.
Tribute. Yeah.
Yeah, Saturday, January 6th.
By who? Who's the artist?
A tribute to Pink?
Yeah, the band is called Which One's Pink.
Well, why would I want to see a Pink tribute when I'd rather see the real girl? There's no whole band.
Hey, you dragged me to an Alice in Chains tribute band.
Well,
you
they're
took
not
him
together.
To go see Lavin's band?
I was there. Me and Noel. Noel, Jason Scott were there.
It was the two of them in the front row and nobody else. There was a waitress coughing and putting chairs up.
One of those great gigs. I remember one time I was up in Victorville and I had to do stand-up for a friend of mine, a promoter, and there was basically 3 people there.
Really?
Just smoking and drinking. And I'm up there going, this just sucks. I'm in the middle of Victorville and...
There's the snowball fight I like. There we go. That's worth passing it on. This girl's topless. I'm sending it to Dan.
Oh, no, don't do that. Rhonda
Fuck
looks
yeah.
at my phone.
I'm doing it right to you.
Put Hi Rhonda on there, LOL.
I'm passing you a topless girl throwing a snowball. Nice pair of tits.
Well, they got to be pretty firm if it's snowing. Those are nature's...
2 minutes to 9, by the way.
Nature's best.
Nature's
The longest hour of this show is the
best
last 2
firm
minutes.
stats.
Dead air, by the way.
Dead air.
Women.
From the people who brought you dead air and more dead air.
So
Yeah,
tomorrow,
here's some more dead air.
so we might have surprise guest tomorrow,
Or
Thursday.
The guest might surprise us and not show up again. Go on to what's Thursday?
Thursday,
When do we get the beer witches?
the brew witches, not the beer witches, the brew. They're mixing a brew.
These sirens better come in.
The brew witches, Julia Metalionius, and her posse is.
Why did you make her sound like a Roman emperor? Julius Metallunius?
Because she is. She will dominate you. She will kick your ass.
Related to Julius Caesar.
Is she related to
Julia-
Julius Caesar?
Julia and the brew witches will be here Thursday morning.
Hang on one more time. This is a callback to earlier in the show. Please, sir, the
May I
fire
have
was
some
not me.
more?
Please, sir, the fire was not me fault.
The fire was not me fault.
The boat that sank was not me fault.
Hi, I'm Jeff Sargent, and I live stream, and I get in trouble for it.
I'm masturbating in the flames and dancing like Rumpelstiltskin.
Dance into the fire.
Into the fire.
Because this one is.
The final something.
I'm Dan Rupp, and I take blame for everything.
I'm Pat Jankwitz, and I approve that message.
All right, we just about out of here.
We's out of here, gang. Thank you for
we're
joining
outta
us on possibly the worst episode of the Jeff Sargent Show ever.
Hey, screw y'all.
Hey, we had a girl with a sweet English accent.
Oh, no, the
on.
sweet audio was great.
That was the best part of the show, of course.
Steve Joyner did a journeyman's job trying to lift our show above the mediocrity we slipped into when the beautiful Nadia left.
So tomorrow's surprise brew witches on Thursday. Friday we're gonna have a surprise guest.
Which means we don't know yet.
Yeah.
Shut the
Which means we're digging for something.
We're going to stalk Betty
We're
Beware
gonna
until she
dig-
comes back.
We're gonna dig in the cat box and pull out a real polished turd. Here.
Yeah, I got a post on Facebook. We need guests.
There we go. Hasta luego, gang.
All right, never mind.
Have a
Okay,
good,
bye.
happy New Year. Back to music.